Hello, 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 divine ones. Welcome. If you're brand new to this channel, my name is Diane, and today I'll be sharing messages from a group of guides that are known to me as one. They are a collective of light energies, you could call them, or light beings. They are a collection of ETs, ascended masters, angels, some that are not even in any form at all. They are completely like formless as they're showing themselves to me. They're just like an orb of light. They take many forms and no forms. And today they will be sharing their message, and I will be speaking in English and light language. And if you're new here, you'll see the movement that is coming through. It is the vibrational frequency that is the guide's energy that comes through for these messages. These messages go beyond your intellect and into a internal knowing, which is a knowing of the heart. And beyond the mind, beyond the intellect, it is a wisdom knowing. So today they're going to share a message that was asked from one of the viewers, and it was left in the comments box. And this question, even though it pertains to raising children, the guides say they're going to talk about this from a broad perspective or in a broad scope. They're going to talk about separation. They're going to talk about identity, and they're going to answer the viewer's question, which I have written right here. And it says, how do we raise our kids not to have attachments to identifiers when school, society, friends, and family reinforce identifiers? So if you're open to this message, please find a comfortable position and we'll begin. And as always, the guides like to meet you and greet you and harmonize energy with you. Dear ones, we are so grateful, overjoyed, elated, ecstatic to share this message today, and to share this vibrational frequency that reminds you of the truth of who you are, to share in this message because it is our favorite topic, and identity, identifiers, and actually now they're telling me like everything is their favorite topic, but they're particularly fond of this one. So if you wish to, you say yes and we say yes, and we harmonize energy together now. What is an energy harmonization? Sometimes when we do like an energy hug or an energy harmonization, is a way of connecting or merging energy with the frequency of truth. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration and frequency. And the frequency that you hold and the energy that you hold, the vibration that you hold, is the informer of the life you see before you and the life you experience. The life you experience and you see before you is in a direct relationship to, or directly correlated with, the vibrational frequency that you currently hold. And as you are in a human form and in this denser body, you hold a denser energy, and therefore the sights that you see are in alignment and agreement with this holding of this vibrational frequency. And the frequency that we bring today is greater, or this is not quite the word, hold on a second please, is higher, in a higher vibrational frequency. This frequency is one of truth, and it is the peace that pervades everything. And that you may hold this vibration in a human form. You may begin to be able to hold, anchor this vibration within you. So we wish to harmonize energy with you so that we are what you would call on the same page. This is not an intellectual page. This is a heart page. A heart. When you open the book and we say we're on the same page, it's not on the same intellectual page. It's on on the same frequency, anasikara, the same frequency. This is the page we talk about. Anasikara, you say yes, we say yes. Ayakoroso takarase, they say let's go. Anisikarasa chikara, anasikaraso chikarasa, inikyo poroko. Lately they've been saying this, let's go, and it's kind of funny to me when they say it, anasikara, because they're excited. Anikorusia chikoroso, anikyo turkiya se chikara, rokti asanakarasa, your heart, our heart, one heartbeat. Let us create the energy frequency, the energy vibration, the energy transmission, if you like, that it is in the optimal frequency, that it is in service to all, without exception, and it is in alignment with the highest vibrational frequency you may hold in this now moment. For your greatest and highest good. Ikiote kinosotrikia mai katorukia sai. Shi awai kanosotikara sai chikarabaketi si akote sekarasote shi awai. And they're doing an energy hug. If you like to hug them back, you can, or anything else that feels intuitively guided to you. Anasiyo korasia karasai chikare e seowai karasai karasai. Shiktine awaso. Aiti karasoti shiawa karase karasa, dear ones. Inasiyo korasema karasa karasa. The question that has been asked is, anasokoroso koroso, how do we raise our children? Ayakoroso korasa, when everyone else around us, ayakoroso koroso kiyasai karasa, inasikiata koroso is acting and behaving and reinforcing behavior that is in alignment with identification, identification of self, identification of the world. How do we as parents do this? And another question asked is, how do we as a society, one, hold the frequency that puts us in alignment and agreement with being in a world in which this takes place, in which this identity, separation, attachments take place. One is this frequency. How do we have this? How do we do this? Why are we here doing this? And another question is, why are we continuing to believe in separation? Okay, so first we will talk about this. Everything starts with you. So if you are the parent asking the question, there's two things that we want to talk about here. First of all, we want to say, how do you raise your kids? If you thought this was going to be a how-to manual, it is not. Because we don't tell you what to do, but we do tell you to be. And being is the most important part, because regardless of what other people are doing, what society is doing, even what your children are doing, regardless of all this, it all starts with you, and you must, for yourself and for, because be the change, be the change. That is the name of this message, be the change. You must be the change. So how do you change anything? It is only through your vibrational frequency. As we said at the beginning of this message, the world you see before you, that includes your loved ones, your children, everything else. The sights, the trees, all of it, everything that you see, everything is all in direct relationship to the vibrational frequency you hold. Not just the way you see it, but in addition to the way you see it, also the sights physically that you see. There's two things here. The way that you see it is changed, so as you raise your vibrational frequency. Some of you have engaged in practices that raise your vibrational frequency, whether that is like a meditation or yoga or qigong or chanting, praying, whatever it is. Some of you have energy work, raise your vibration, and you know that as your vibrational frequency raises, you also respond to life differently. And the things that used to annoy the small self no longer annoy the small self in the same way. So you know that you have experienced that changing your vibrational frequency in your physical body, in your energy body, and from a small self perspective changes the way that you relate. This is one way. And the other way is as you change your vibrational frequency, and as your species is evolving and your physical body and energy body is evolving, as these are evolving, and you are changing literally, like right before your eyes. They're showing it to me like magic. They're going to say this now. It's kind of like a sidebar, I think. Or feels like they're going to do this now. So the kingdom of heaven, the pure land, the new earth, any dimension, we'll say 5D, but you can say any dimension or any reality is not up here. Although we are always talking about raising and you must rise, Arisaketa said this is not like you are going somewhere like a hot balloon ride. You're not going somewhere. Literally right before your eyes, right where you are right now, your whole entire world and the sights that you see will be different. It's almost like how they're showing this to me is almost like a hologram. The things that were held in lower vibration cannot express in a higher vibration. And therefore, as you begin to vibrate higher, you hold and you anchor. So different than raising your vibrational frequency, which all of you are doing to some extent or another. You might say, well, not all of us are doing that, but they're showing me even those that might be very angry, have moments of like maybe positivity in which they hold a higher vibration like briefly and comes back down again. But they say, you are all beginning to hold higher vibrations, and it is holding them and being able to hold them and anchor them as part of you. The same way you would get up in the morning and brush your teeth and do your morning routine, and it just becomes a natural habit in this way. The vibrational frequency that you're holding becomes the new normal for you. And this is what is happening. And it is in holding this higher vibrational frequency that the world before you is going to change. You will perceive whatever you would like to call this. They're saying all these words. You can call it the kingdom, you can call it the new earth, you can call it 5D, you can call it pure land or Buddha land, whatever. It doesn't matter, they say. Because these names aren't even accurate. But call it what you like. Because we can rejoice in the fact that we can use or utilize language. They're saying they're very grateful. They're rejoicing in the fact that they can utilize language to have this communication with you, they're calling it, with you today. And for this, they're deeply grateful. So you call it what you like, whatever allows you to be in a vibrational alignment with this transmission. These sites, you will see them completely different. It's like the wool comes over off your eyes. It's you begin to see life completely differently. And the things that you used to see, you don't see them anymore. The things like war, and now I'm asking how this is possible. And they say that it is. The things like war and crime and harm to each other, like simply just do not exist in this higher vibrational frequency. They just don't exist here. They cannot even come here. They cannot raise here. So as we've spoke many times, all the ideas and beliefs have to be released in order to raise. And your world, your life will change before your eyes. This is all we will say about this right now. We will go back though. We will speak about this more at another time. But we say this today to say that right now you are in a specific alignment and agreement that in this human form that keeps you in these ideas and beliefs about being attached to life and attached to getting what you want, and particularly attached to two things. One, the you that you believe that you are, the identity self, and preserving this identity self and this attachment to this, and your attachment to separation. Even your idea to say, my children, it gives the idea of ownership, their mind, they belong to me, and you belong to each other, but in a whole different way than you think. Because this is another sticky situation where as a parent, you begin to form your identity on your children's identity and on their accomplishments or what you view as their trials and tribulations. So if something happens to them or they do something that you would consider to be negative, then you feel like this might reflect upon you as a parent. And so you begin to have these ideas of identity through another. And you also have this idea of separation, like I am my own person and this person or this child is their own person. And we would say yes, and we would also say no. Because yes, as we have said before, if there is one source, one consciousness, and you can use any word you like that resonates with you. You can call it God, you can call it universe, whatever you like. If there is one, and there is, if there is one energy, they like to use this today. There's one energy that permeates everything. It is never separate from anything else. But sometimes it wishes to go out and play. And so it puts on a disguise. And as it puts on a disguise to go out and play, to have an experience of itself, to have an experience of itself. And how does it have an experience of itself? By experiencing like the richness of life, like the vastness of life through many experiences. This one may know itself as one. And because as it is one vibrational frequency, it isn't until it plays a song, many songs. And when it plays many songs, and it gets like caught up in the songs, if you would, or you become like a personality self. You get born and you are now given an identity and you believe it and you play this role. It is like the contrast, like they're showing me like you would have a CT scan and you would have like a contrast dye that would allow you to like see things more clearly. It is like this. It is the contrast. Life, manifestations of life, expressions of life are ways in which you can know the truth of who you are, or this one source, knows itself more deeply. So I'm asking more questions about this. And they say this is not their like central message of today, and they'll talk about it more again for me and perhaps for you. But they will say that this one vibrational frequency is wants to dance, wants to play, wants to create, wants to manifest, manifest. But what has happened is, in human form, was not always this way, but it became this way in human form. You forgot who you were. You forgot you were a source or God or whatever word you want to insert here. You forgot you were this, enjoying the flower. You came to believe that you were the small self, the personality self, the self that you believe you are. They're showing me this goes back in time, like different civilizations on like Earth, and so back, but they're saying not even just Earth. And they're showing me other like dimensions as well, and like other realities as well, and other worlds as well. This is not the only place where this has happened. The forgetfulness has happened in this way. So forgetting who you are. And so like a mask, you are now in belief that you are the identity self. And and you believe that you are separate. Because this identity, and once this was just God playing upon like the earth plane, or like source, playing or expressing or manifesting upon the earth plane. And then this heavy coat or cloak came over it, much conditioning and people wanting to control and to hold control. And in holding control, the only way that they could do this is by expiring your light, or by like when you put the thing over top of the candle, snuffs out the candlelight. This was the way to control you. And therefore you believed in a separation. And when you have your relationships, family and otherwise, you believe that you are a separate self. So you must live truth. Know internal knowing. You must know the truth of who you are. This is what elevates your experience. This is what elevates everything. Your kids, your relationships. This is what elevates everything, and ultimately your world, your ability to experience the new earth, the kingdom, 5D, whatever you like to call it. Your ability to experience this is based upon your vibration and your alignment with knowing the truth of who you are, and holding this vibrational frequency allows you to be able to experience, it's like they're saying, taste the fruits, without attachment. Taste the fruits, enjoy. So showing me like this beautiful, like it's so beautiful, like mountains and trees. It's so beautiful and lush with beautiful colors, and swimming. They're like swimming in this like lake type of thing that's going by. And so like river. And stream. And gently down the stream. Now they're singing it merrily. Life is but a dream. They always surprise me. Ana waigtai show so. And so they say in Ikiana Soto Shikarase, you see, dear ones, Iokoro Soto Shikarasa, you must hold the vibration for yourself. If you are worried about your children, you are worried about you, because you are not separate from them. And so you must elevate yourself to elevate your family, to elevate your relationships, to elevate this earth. And the elevation is a frequency. You can read self-help self-help books all you like. So we don't say anything about it. But even in doing so, you are then in alignment and agreement to I am the one that needs the self-help book. So I have a belief somewhere that I have a requirement for this self-help book. And now, again, they're saying we don't tell you what to do. You can have all the self-help books you want. Realize, though, that this holds a vibrational frequency, right? Says, I am not divine. I somehow feel like I am less than, or I need help from outside of me. And you may do this. Because each has their own timeline where you may, what they're saying is dabble in self-help books or reaching out here and there and everywhere, looking for help. To only be guided back home to where all the wisdom is contained. And we can't tell you this. This is not something that you can intellectually know. You have to know it with an internal knowing. You must know this. And so we can say it all we want, but we would say, yes, while you may be out looking for ways to improve your life, we would also I'm just trying to get the right word here. And like urge you, like implore you to just be. And with whatever is arising. Because it is arising. And any resistance you fight against what is resistance and is a energy depletion and is an energetic alignment. So it is a depletion of your energy in addition to this. So resisting and fighting against what is not only a depletion of your energy, it is putting you in the alignment with all of those that are on the same broadcast as fighting and resistance. You are now on that same broadcast. So, dear ones, we say, the way is in. Iotokoro is to being, and the portal is now in the present moment, and the willingness to be in a silent, to be still. But you could even be in movement and still go inwards. But they say like eventually, it is this like still point, where everything dissolves into one. Everything merges into one. You have this realization of one, in which you are not separate from your children. So you know that everything you do for you, you do for them. And like we have said before, when we wish to help others, sometimes we have this idea that I am helping you. And there is a separateness again. There is this idea of identity and identity. I am separate from you and I am helping you, rather than this realization that I am you. And so I freely so offer whatever is needed. See, right now, so we'll just illustrate the difference. Right now, you might be so kind as to volunteer or help another. And we say always, yes, express this kindness to one another. Indeed, yes, please do this. Yes. And as you do this, though, also watch your own mind. Watch what arises here. Do you have a pity? Do you feel sorry for another? Do you have aikoroso? And this is different than an empathy and also different from their next explanation altogether. So they're just illustrating now. Do you have a sense of pity for another? Tia sokoroso chia karasa, do you have this idea, I am the one that is helping you. I have more than you, therefore I am helping you because you have less than me. You see, you have these, it's very sneaky, it's very subtle, but it's still an agreement to separation. And it's still an agreement to a hierarchy. And it's still an agreement to a less than. And it's still an agreement to a world where there is not equality. And so just watch your own mind, watch it like curiously, like, very interesting what's here. Very interesting, the conditioning, anase koroso, the automatic reactions that are here, anase karasa, and the sneaky ways in which I know who I am, not the truth of who I am, the sneaky ways in which I build my personality self, the ways in which I know myself. I know myself as the volunteer. I know myself as the helper. I am the one. Notice how you get attached to your labels of identity and your identity. Ana korosi atakarase shiwai kana soch karasai atakorosi ai kanai. And even your ideas of cancel culture, which we wish to talk about, not today, but we wish to talk about this. We greatly wish to talk about this. However, today what we will say about this is when you try to cancel out another, you try to cancel out their expression, which you can never do because you're trying to cancel you. Did you know that? You are trying to cancel you. And you might say, that's preposterous. That's ridiculous. I am canceling out the person that is causing the harm. And I am certainly not causing the harm. Notice how you have created a hierarchy that you are greater than. You take a stand that you are better than and you are higher than, because of course you would never talk or behave in these ways. And so in order to control another and to take away their voice, you wish to cancel them. And you can do this all you want, but you are just doing it to yourself. You are taking away your own voice, and you are putting yourself in the alignment, the vibrational alignment that is in agreement to viewing or perceiving or experiencing a world in which the necessity to cancel someone is there, in which the necessity to harm other people and say things or do things that harm one another is there. You are putting yourself right back in there. You're just digging a hole right beside the hole. Like in a sikara, they're showing it me like a grave. You might as well dig it for yourself. Because whatever you do, you're doing for you. So whatever you do for your children and your family and your loved ones too. Now, they might not come along for your ride, because you might wish to drive the high road, go up the mountain. And they're talking about it in frequency, not in I'm better than you, but like in frequency. You might wish to take the high road. And they may not wish to come. You cannot change another, but you may change yourself. And you may, I need more information on this for 1 second, please. You may not change another, but you may change another. How is this possible? Because you change yourself. And when you change yourself, and it's actually really not the small self that's doing the changing, but it is the paradox. It is you need the mind to let go of the mind. You need the mind to see or to have the realization, or to have the mind to watch this video or any transmission or read any book or do anything that you might do. You need the mind for this. Only to point you in the direction point you in the direction of the fact you need to let go of the mind altogether. And it's kind of like a paradox. In order to know the truth of who you are, you can have no mind. And at the same time, you need the mind to get to the point where you let go of mind to have no mind. It's a paradox. You must let go of that which you need, or that which you perceive that you need. That's more accurate. So they're just gonna do an energy frequency here for a moment, and I see a kind of You spend your life trying to change each other and change yourself. Be, and you will know, internal knowing, know the truth of who you are. And in this, you won't need words. You will not require to try to change a situation. Just your frequency, the frequency that you hold, the vibrational frequency that you hold, elevates those around you. And those that don't wish to elevate may leave the situation. So your children may choose to go do something that you wish them not to do. And you may see that you may try to be present and do all this internal work, if you would call it this, on yourself, only to find that society and your family is feels like it's undermining you. And they say, dear ones, it's your attachment to outcome that is the problem. The problem is not society. The problem is not what friends and family and the ways that society is identifying or using names and your job, your description, whatever, all of these things. This is not the problem. Society is not the problem. There actually is no problem, except the fact that you view that there is a problem that must be solved. And in this, it creates separation, problem and solution. You see, even this problem and solution is separation. And we say move into resolution and knowing, in which there is just one. And there is a pure clarity here as how to express, or how you would say how to act, or how to take action. Is informed through your divinity. And the problem is not how do you raise your kids. Your question is, how do you raise your own vibration so that the world before you changes and your interactions with others changes, your experience changes, and therefore everything and everyone around you changes. And while this is always true, this is a truth that is always true, everything Anisio Koroso manifests in relation to its vibration. Your children will up and down will do their own expression. You cannot change it, but you can, because when you change yourself, it changes everything. And while that person may be engaging in those things that you wish them to not engage in, whether they're negative or harmful, the way that you view it and the way that you attend to it will be very different, and it will not have the same suffering and the same pain and the same attachments that you have now. Inicio koroso shokoroso. So the answer really is, dear ones, it starts with you. And the question really is, how do I raise my own vibration, rather than how do I raise my kids? How do I raise this physical form, energy body? How do I uplift? And from two perspectives, from a personality self, you may ask yourself the question, Do these words need to be said? Does this action need to be taken? So because sometimes things don't need to be said, but you feel you need to say them. Is very opinionated, like I feel I need to say them, and it gives you like a relief, if you would, because it is more opinions that the small self can know itself as. The more you feed this, this is why you do need the mind to assist with this, right? And this is why we say, yeah, you could have the self-help books or the spiritual books or all the books, whatever you like. This is one level, if you would, or one vibrational reality, if you would. And then here is also, or they're saying here, I'm saying here, but they're actually saying here, right? Like on top of this, there is another reality, a higher reality in which you let go of the mind. And you're not trying to push it out, kick it out. Is through your willingness to be present and to welcome what is, and to see with internal seeing the nature of reality and the ignorance of separation, or how separation keeps us ignorant of the divine truth that we are. It is your willingness to be in agreement to knowing something beyond what you know now. This is an internal knowing, moving beyond intellect into an internal knowing. And through this, the expression of life and the way that you attend to your life and attend to others is now informed, as we've said many times, through the divine aspect of you, and you know yourself as this. But when you know yourself as this, and even though we say this, it's not an identity, like you're going to walk around going, hello, I am that I am. Have a good day. Hello, I am that I am. Because eventually you move beyond even the I am into nothing. Into no thing, nothing. Empty and fully complete at the same time. There is no I. There is no anything, but there is everything. And it's so beautiful, vibrationally beautiful, like the feeling that they're giving me of this right now, of the everything, of the all that this is, that we are. It's so so beautiful. And those are my words for it. I have no words for this. It's just so and when I bring like this energy, like every cell, everything is just vibrating, like how you would feel pins and needles. This is how my whole body feels. This is like pins and needles. And it's so high vibrational energy is so high. It feels like this. So dear ones, we hope that we have answered your question today. It all begins with you and it all ends with you. And you are all. So when you are willing, so shall it be. And this is not the willing of the small self. This is the willing of the small self to know beyond intellect, and the divine aspect of you to express through you, and as you, everything changes. Everything is made anew. Everything is made a true. They have said this before, a new and a true. Everything is made anew. Everything is made a true right before your eyes. You do not have to go to a 5D. They're showing me like putting a world on your back and trying to lift it. So you may just simply like be and vibrate at a higher vibrational frequency, and where before, it's like they show it to me like this, like you open drapes, like I have a stage, and then all of a sudden you see a whole world you didn't even know existed. But you did know. You knew existed. You didn't know it existed, but you know it existed. And even its existence isn't an inherent existence. It is a vibrational frequency existence. The same way as that you experience Earth now or multiple dimensions now, they do not exist like on a roadmap somewhere. They are a vibrational frequency that is an ongoing manifestation, and it can come and go. Is this right? And these manifestations, these realities can come and go based on vibrational frequencies, and those that are residing within that frequency, as the ones that are in the frequency change their frequency, so does the manifestation change its frequency. And as the manifestation changes its frequency, those that reside there change their frequency. You see it as a loop. It's not just here in what you call Earth, it's everywhere. And it's ironically also nowhere. It is vibrational frequencies that express manifestations or express realities or experiences. And these different manifestations, these different worlds, they're showing it to me like it's here, and you might come here like vibrationally, and then together you might decide to vibrationally change this whole experience of this. So you might have this what you would call a world, or like, let's just even call it like the new Earth here. Can I do that? But more accurately, we wish to say that a dimension isn't a place, it is a frequency, and a frequency is always in flux. And as it is in flux, it changes, and the manifestations within it change. And as the manifestations change, then the world itself, or the dimension itself, also changes. It doesn't exist inherently anywhere, the same way as Earth doesn't exist inherently anywhere. And some of you might not like this. It exists like we talked about in a previous message when we talked about once your hair was blonde and then it was brown. In the same way, in this like identical way, exact same way, Earth exists like this as a result of a manifestation, as a result of a frequency. One day it won't exist like this, and one day not at all. Like one day not at all. Now they know that I am super questioning this right now. And so it's too much of my own mental interference here. Just sorry about that. And let me just tune in with this for a second and just see. Yes, because it doesn't really exist in the way that you think that it exists. So how could it ever exist forever if it never existed to begin with? It is just a temporary manifestation. You see, they're telling me stop being so attached to things being things. They're telling me stop being attached to things being things. Okay. All right. So okay, they're sending you love. Love. Okay, so I'm hoping so much that I've answered your question today, and I'm so sorry to this viewer that I do not know your name. And if you wish to leave it for me in the comments box, that would be lovely. And if you don't feel comfortable, that's okay too. I hope that your question was answered today, as well as other people's questions. Perhaps this answered other questions as well. And they're just sending so much love now. They're going to harmonize this message right now, and so that it is known, internal known by you, not the personality self you, the truth of who you are. su shu he su shia wa wa sai shai 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 shai. Sai shu. Sai shu. Sai shu. Thank you so much to the guides for sharing in this transmission today. And as always, we're sending you so much love. Thank you.